For our sponsor contract, we'll give them data on what it is to drink like 6 Gorilla Mines and then climb the wall.
This is your brain on 100. This student drank 5 Gorilla Mines,
what
and
feels
this is
better,
what
your
happened to
body
his
or your
brain.
mind?
All right, welcome back to the Slop Review. Gorilla Mind edition. Stop touching my USB drive. Stop it.
Touch your fucking
Stop.
Gorilla Mind, bro.
Stop.
It's because it's the same color
Stop.
as the Gorilla Mind.
Stop. All right, who's going first?
What?
I can go first.
You got this.
All right, I brought a little bit of a theme today. My 2 manga have the exact same plot. But
Okay.
this is something I like to call light side, dark side. Because one of them is light side, meaning it's actually not very good still. But it's sort of normal, almost, kind of standard story. And the other one is the dark side.
Okay.
Which we'll get to. I'll start with the light side.
I can't wait.
The theme of today surrounds... It's like the most cringe concept you can imagine. It's like main character is a guy who is somehow in his life wronged by every woman he comes across. And the story's just like that.
Okay.
And like, it's not even revenge plots. It's just like him getting better, I guess.
Like, oh yeah, because it always just like starts with him being an incel.
Yeah, these guys are incels. This one is crazy.
Oh, you write a lot more than I do.
Yeah, I have 3 bullet points for One Piece.
Do you know what my notes are?
Screenshots of
Having
the
the
anime.
Mal page open.
That's good enough,
Yeah.
dude. I have a bad memory. I need this.
I have a bad memory. I don't bring notes, but I feel like anime is a bit easier to remember points about than manga is, because manga is
That's
like
probably
it's a
true.
fleeting moment.
Because you have a better memory.
Gorilla Mind.
I drink Gorilla Mind before every
All
chapter.
right. My first one is called Nyanta to Pomeko by Nora Usagi. It's exactly the plot I just mentioned. He's been shunned by the women in his life. I don't even remember what his problems were with them. It was so benign. I was like mad. Because it's like he just gets rejected and he's like, my life is over. I need to be an incel now.
Did you immediately start posting on 4chan?
No, they don't have 4chan yet.
Was it
But
the
God
90s?
forbid they did.
No.
It would be
I
a
don't know when this came
problem
out.
if they had 4chan.
Yeah, they haven't learned what that is in Japan yet. Unless it's Stein's getting on @channel.
Okay.
No, this guy's entire life is ruined because he trips and falls and pushes a girl over at recess when he's 6 years old. And everyone's like, he's a bad guy. We don't F with that freaking guy.
Fuck this guy.
But
Continue.
Can you stop touching
but
me?
he can touch it a little bit.
It's the Gorilla Mind.
Just the gorilla wee.
Doing tricks in his brain.
The gorilla mind's got in the mind of the gorilla. He's inquisitive. His life is ruined by pushing his girl over, and his mom and sister find out, and they're like, "You're a bad person," but they get over it. But he holds this grudge against them, and he's like, "My family hates me," for 10 years. And it's over such garbage. So in his free time, he's like, I'm gonna draw isekais, and I'm gonna write isekais.
Oh, he's for me.
He's for you.
Is being an isekai artist / writer in Japan the same thing as being a SoundCloud rapper here?
No.
No.
SoundCloud rappers are so much cooler.
Cooler.
Yeah.
But I meant in the vein that it's like a last desperate attempt at a not normal career.
No. You always have porn star.
I guess
That's
true.
after SoundCloud.
No,
Well,
it's
actually, some of them go to
I
SoundCloud.
think the true last resort is joining the military.
Yeah. That's why military rates are spiking right now. Or recruitment rates.
That means bad things are happening to the
Big
economy.
Welcome back to the Slop Review. What he's writing, and he's like, there's one person that likes him and comments on all his stuff, and he finds it's the girl in class next to him, who also has nobody likes her either, but we don't ever find out why. She kind of just comes off as an asshole, because they never explain why she's so mad about everything. And it's just this terrible story of these two trading in which instance someone will come up to them and be like, I know I wronged you in the past, but I'm blah, blah, blah. And then one of them will go on an incel rant for a page. And it's like Ayano Koji. It's so cringe.
That's sick. Anytime we reference Ayano Koji, something gets worse in my eyes.
Yeah, they
My
start to
microphone
twitch,
now.
dude. They can hear you so much better now.
I'm sure it sounds so better.
I bet it does.
Yeah, the working microphone.
I should look away and talk into this microphone so they can hear me so well.
Shut up and drink your gorilla mind.
Drink your fucking gorilla mind, dude. Is that good for you? At least he's honest.
I like what it does to me.
To your mind.
The girl also writes. She writes romances, and they don't say anything about them. They're probably also cringe.
Yeah.
I just hate these two characters so much because I feel like neither of them have any actual personality, aside from just being incels and being mad and being like, I was mistreated once 10 years ago, and that's gonna be like my life story now. And I think eventually they end up dating because, like, obviously they would. And they go to an amusement park and they have an awesome knockoff Mickey Mouse called Mucky Mouse.
Musty Mouse.
I kind of fuck with Mucky.
Mucky's kind of sick.
Is he covered in muck?
No.
Is he a ghoul of the swamp?
No, he's a chinchilla.
Oh, that's kind of... I don't really know what to say about that.
They don't even get to meet Mucky because they go to try to meet... They do the whole plot where they're, like, at the amusement park, but then there's, like, a lost child they have to find the parents of.
Mm-hmm.
I always hate these dudes. It's a bad plot.
They do it every single time, and I don't know why. It's like...
I don't know if it's like a thing in Japan. It's like...
There's too many lost children.
Too many lost children. But I don't know if this is like a trope. Like, does the... Like...
It's so common.
I don't know why I see it all.
I guess it shows some ability to show like a virtuous attribute of one of the characters.
I think it's also like if the date just goes fine, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, so this damn child is in the middle of getting trafficked or something.
I don't remember what manga it was, but there was one where the child was like molesting the girl. Very knowingly. Dude, stop doing that to my fucking shark.
Dude, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Why are you giving the Blanche back
This is what I
shots?
bought for you, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't this kind of make him like my son?
No.
So that makes it even weirder that you're over there.
No, where's my
fucking
wallet?
the
I'll
shit out of
pay
it.
you. Stop doing this.
Okay, anyway, keep going. Just ignore it. Just ignore what he's doing to your son.
They meet this child, and the child apparently is also a writer. And they just also know her. I'm like, all these fucking writers live in the same town and they all know each other. It's so like... This is the light side manga, by the way.
This is the light side.
It gets worse.
This is the good one. That's kind of it. It also... I think they were definitely rushed, because I think there's only 19 chapters. And very much in chapter 15, they're like, we gotta fix these two characters from being incels, and we have 4 chapters to do it. And they just speedrun out of nowhere. There's like plot points that just appear and disappear. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And then it just ends. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
That's Nyanta to Pomeko.
Nyanta to Pomeko. I like
That's it.
how often the names of manga, like you're getting into Slop when the name of it is name of character to name of character.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're in for an okay
Like,
experience.
this is the best you could come up with? Oh, no.
Like, come on.
Give me a light novel title.
We don't actually.
We gotta have an
I
Aiden
actually prefer
Gelling
that to a white
episode.
novel title.
Give me a paragraph on my screen. What do you got on there?
Okay, so in order to have enough time, I'm gonna say my kind of funnier concept one, but worse one.
Okay.
And it kind of ties in well, because this is an isekai. But I just thought the idea is funny and the art is good. So it says there was a cute girl in the hero's party, so I tried confessing to her, which is like a banger name. I
think
say.
I'm in.
I
I think
like-
if I came across this, I might click on
You
it.
might like. Well, okay. So here's the thing. The name is really funny. The art, you can kind of get like a taste for it from the cover. It's like really good.
Right.
And it's not normal in color. This
Yeah.
is just like
That's a cover.
Cover. It's by Carrie and the author. So the artist is Kyrie and this author is Suise.
Kyrie. Roxas. Riku.
I think so. It kind of starts out with like a funny concept. It sounds like the intro to like an anime, which I mean makes sense, but it just sounds like the intro to an anime that never got a manga. Like,
Sure, yeah.
you know, which is like a special breed because the main character like died, I guess, and then reincarnated into like the Demon King's castle, but he just carries the entire thing. And he's like, I fucking hate this.
He reincarnates in the Demon King's castle?
Yeah, as like a little henchman that carries the Demon King. And he's like soloing the hero's party, but every time that the hero's party comes in, there'd be like one girl from me like, Sugoi.
I thought he would be in the hero's party.
No, he's just like a bad guy. And he's like, dude, she's bad. And she is bad.
It's reverse Mage and Demon Queen.
It is.
I don't like that as much.
It's not as funny.
And they're not gay.
And then at one point he was like, all right, dude, I fucking hate this. I'll let you pass if... What is he doing over? He's on Gorilla Mind shit. I'll let you pass if you let me have the girl. And they let him have the girl. And then the plot becomes bad. We don't need to talk about it.
Oh,
but I
really?
just think that the intro is funny. It turns into like... It fills out romance for side characters, but it doesn't really fill out romance for anything else. So, like,
Sure.
The main character just doesn't get it. And
Really?
But
he gets to keep the girl.
But he does get to keep the girl.
He gets to keep her.
But he just leaves the castle because they beat the Demon King immediately. They leave the castle, and then he's like living with her, but they're not doing anything.
This sounds awful.
It becomes awful. But the art is so good, and the plot in the beginning is like kind of funny.
I like the idea. I don't like any of the rest of it.
The execution is not good. I want to bring it up because it's like, it's just kind of goofy because the execution is so bad.
You gotta knock it off over there, dude. You're being so weird. You have shark autism in a weird way that I don't appreciate.
I'm trying to talk about this Slop, and I see him in the corner going, but he's not looking at me. He's looking at his phone.
Dual wheel.
He's always on his phone.
On the JT, bro. Looking up pictures of
I'm not like
pigs.
you. I can listen and do at the same time.
This is not gonna work. I don't like you right now.
And I was showing my friend a very important image.
Is that your friend or am I your friend? Because I had to see it too.
Yeah, you're my friend too, but...
I think that shark has probably seen that image before.
Probably has.
It's probably passed through my screen so many times.
Is it? Let me guess. Was it the pig?
Yeah, it was the pig. I saw him scrolling through his gallery for so long, and he couldn't find it. And then I saw him have to look it up. I couldn't see what he searched at first. It was pictures of like pigs holding money. I'm like, what the fuck is he looking at? And then he scrolls a little farther and he finds it. I'm like, oh my god.
It's fucking the stupid pig.
It's the fucking pig
It's
again.
my favorite image.
Yeah, I know.
I should make it my Discord banner. I have Discord Nitro now.
You don't need to make it.
You don't need to make me
Guy with Discord Nitro.
Guy with...
Farted. So,
Guy who farted.
So do you want to talk about solo leveling now?
Can I start solo leveling? Because I know I will be very brief on it.
I would love for you to start.
But I know the origins of solo leveling.
Okay.
So I started reading solo leveling when it had like 10-ish chapters. Guy who started solo leveling when it had 10-ish chapters.
You don't need to hit a clip on yourself.
Sorry, I had to own myself there. Solo leveling, I would say, is like the progenitor of like a lot of modern manhwa. Like modern action manhwa, a lot of the time follows a lot of the same stuff as solo leveling, just because like when solo leveling really hit big and got so mainstream, like after a few years, so many came out. Like I would say it's like in a lot of ways like modern action manhwa, it's like the grandfather of them.
Okay.
It is not the best. It is far from the best.
No. And I think it's important. I wanted to have more of a serious conversation about it because it's so overhyped.
Yeah.
And it truly is just power fantasy slop.
Yeah.
Is season 2 out yet?
Yeah.
So that's where I think, because season 1, if I'm understanding, went to the Ant Island arc, right? I believe. Or did season 2 go to that?
Had to dig through my mind for a moment.
Mind Palace.
The Palace of his Mind. I mean, I can probably...
Season 1 ends with him beating Igris. Igris?
Oh,
The Red
okay.
Knight
Sure.
guy. And I think they might be talking about the island.
Probably.
But then the second ends with, like, the completion of the island.
Sure, okay.
Which, if I am gonna guess, is where it peaks.
Yes. So, I would say that solo leveling's manhwa typically has, like... So, in my opinion, it starts out very strong.
Great.
Like probably the first season was like a banger.
Yeah, owns. It's classic.
First to second is like very like it in the manhwa it's picking up and it's getting really good. It gets to the Ant Island, and the Ant Island is like really hype and really good. Although beforehand they have that tower arc where he goes and he does like the weird like demon thing.
Tower of God.
Tower
and
of God.
And then our best girl shows up. And then she presumably just gets deleted.
That's incorrect. She does get deleted. And that so the demon part was weird. I didn't really like that arc that much, but like
fine.
it was fine. After the Ant Island arc, it slowly descends until eventually it becomes very bad.
Should we talk about spoilers of the manga? Because I know
Yes.
some of what happens.
Yes, we should talk
Because
Can
about
I
I
know
ask
there's a spin-off with his child.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
No.
What is solo leveling about?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give it
That's
that.
actually
I don't know
Good to know.
anything about it.
So, basically, it's this kid it's a worldwide phenomenon that starts where these gates open. There's literally blue portals that open.
It's Suzume. I've seen this one before.
And
It's-
some people are
He
granted
doesn't know.
these hunter powers. Basically, they're granted like an MMO class
Sure.
and abilities.
Does everyone get one or do some people?
Some people.
Okay.
And the whole gimmick is that when you get your stats and abilities, it's from day one. They're locked and set. So you can spawn in as like the level 100 mafia boss or the level 17 thug, and no matter what, you're locked. That's it.
That's a stupid system.
There is
And rarely, some people will reawaken. Because that's what they call it, the awakening. And occasionally people will reawaken, and they generally become significantly more powerful than they were.
Okay.
there is some difference here. First of all, I think the lowest rank at this point is E rank, which E rank I guess is set up, which is the rank of the main character, is like slightly stronger than a typical human, I guess.
The one bonus being that you can actually do damage to the magical beasts.
Yeah.
Because there's beasts in these dungeons, in these gates. They go into dungeons. Right.
And it is kind of implied that characters can sort of increase their rank.
Mostly through skill.
Mostly through skill, because people were
physical-
doing like retests of their rank, being like, "Please give me a higher rank this time." So there is some variance. Like it's not like
Well, it's
you're
more-
literally
it's more
locked
so,
in.
your stats are the same. It's just mastery
Yeah.
over those abilities.
Is there a reason to
But-
go into the gates?
Yes.
Because if they aren't cleared, then they break open, and normal people cannot hurt the monsters. You could shoot it in the face with a tank gun, and it doesn't care.
With a freaking tank gun.
Yeah.
With a freaking
With a
tank.
And it
freaking.
doesn't care at all.
What about bomb?
So a lot of people would die. It also wouldn't care.
So you have to be Sugoi.
You have to be a Sugoi.
Even if you're pissed.
What if the
Sugoi,
bomb is Sugoi?
What if the bomb is Sugoi?
Then I think it works.
Boom.
Boom.
Bang.
But then you have to get it from the dungeon.
Damn, son.
So you have to clear the dungeons anyways.
Big vacuum.
Also, a lot of the world has built their economy around these because I guess when you kill the monsters, they drop these little stones, and they're useful for multiple things like power, like literal electricity,
Mhm.
and all kinds of random stuff. So
Sure.
it's become part of the world economy. And I'm trying to think what like important plot points there is for the world.
I would say that's
That's
the
like the
world.
rules of
There's
the world.
like every country has like S rank hunters and like world rank hunters essentially. That like if you have like an S rank even, you're already like Sugoi country.
Right.
But if you have like a world rank hunter or whatever they call them, you're like
Which there's like a handful of.
there's like not many of it all. You're
Um,
big.
And this is taking place in Korea, for the record.
I figured.
Mm.
And they have, I don't know, like 10, 9, and then 10
I think
S-rank
so, yeah.
hunters. And Jeju Island, it's a real island.
Yeah.
Just south of the Korean peninsula. And the whole thing is that near the start, Jeju Island had this like ant outbreak and just like slaughtered the whole island, but they were stuck on the island.
Of ants?
Yeah, really powerful ants. They're big.
They're like human-sized ants. He's also skipping.
Did they come from the gates?
Yeah,
Why did no one clear those ones?
because they're too strong.
Hold on. Let me make the actual soul leveling plot
And our
'cause I
main
think Tyler's
character
not
is
doing a
just
great job.
shitting
It's like
small.
I
and
don't
has
think
low
you're doing a great job of
self-esteem.
it. So, the you
Don't
put
try to.
you
I'm not gonna help you.
set up the world and you
Yeah.
kind of skip to the island,
I
but
was just bringing it up.
the point. So Jiwoo, which is like the main character,
Yeah.
starts out as an E rank hunter, and he's going into the gates.
But bottom of E.
But like bottom, he's like I think he's like
If there-
basically treated as like the
He's
If
like
there,
shitty
If there
poop.
could be an F, he would be F.
yeah, he's shitty poo poo. So he goes into gates and he's like getting fucked.
Yeah, because he's shitty poop.
Because he's shitty poo poo. But like he's like, I need to go into gates to save my comatose mother.
To make money.
I
To
don't.
make money, pretty much.
You just get a job.
He should just get a job.
He should. He'd
I
make
think
way
it,
more money doing
the
it
thing
than
is
he
like,
does.
especially in this economy, like it's so built around like this essentially. It's like a war economy almost that like people are just like most of money is coming from hunting. But like especially if you're a hunter. But then he goes into a gate with people and they do not fuck with him except for the wife who gets deleted from the story immediately.
Bang.
It's not that they don't fuck with him. They actually enjoy his
I
presence.
guess that some
I
of them
don't-
don't fuck with him, but some of them
I don't fuck with him. How about that?
Okay,
I can take the mantle.
part of the thing is that they're like,
Never mind.
if he's here, it's going to be an easy gate.
Yeah.
And it should be a safe dungeon.
What?
Because he's so piss weak that there's just like authority and bureaucracy to manage and regulate these gates. He's not physically allowed to go into two.
Oh,
different
so because
gates.
he's allowed to go under, they're like, okay, if dipshit can go
We're
through,
good.
right?
So
I see.
it's not like they're like belittling to him, but it's not like evil and like malicious. It's just like he's weak.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this is our good
They're,
friend dipshit.
All
Yeah.
making fun of him.
I'd make fun of him. Because I'd be fucking awesome.
You'd be made fun of.
I'd
But
be
it's like
world
a lot of
rank.
them-
You would make him look better.
A lot
I'd be
of them
world
don't
rank.
like
I'd
him.
be world rank, and you'd be gay.
I'd be fucking world.
You'd be G rank for freaking gay.
No.
Pride Month. Alright, continue. Where were we?
We're talking about his first dungeon that we see.
Yep, with the crew.
Yeah. And then they go in and they're clearing it, and he kills like a goblin, and his shit ass knife breaks,
Awesome.
and he's just kind of like there, and he has to get healed by wife. What's her name?
I don't remember at all. It doesn't matter.
I'm down to get healed by wife.
Wife is really high ranked, but she's kind of a bitch.
Okay.
So she just does low level dungeons and heals, which is still a helpful thing. Healers are quite rare.
She's the e-girl that has been playing Mercy in unranked for 4 years.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, I
Quite
see.
literally.
Yeah, and she only heals her on corners because she doesn't want to see them fighting.
Yeah.
What?
Pretty much. And they clear the dungeon, which was expectedly relatively easy for people who aren't made out of glass.
Yep.
And then a rare event happens called a double dungeon,
Whoa!
where there's the first dungeon and then there's another one tacked on, and they tend to be quite a bit more difficult than the one you just cleared. But they were in an E rank gate, so
Right.
it should realistically be like a C if they're unlucky.
Okay.
Probably a D is what they all think. And they'll take a vote on it, like, do we dip and let, the authorities handle the bureaucracy of getting better ranked people to clear this, or do we just thug it out? Because they had an easy time with this.
Yeah.
And they're like, kind of want some more money.
And I believe it's also like, if you see a double dungeon, you're supposed to be like,
Bounce out and report it. But they're like, well, potentially big shmoney moves. And so it goes to a vote, and then our piss baby, Jinwoo, is the deciding vote. He says, let's run it.
Alright, I like him a little more now.
And
I don't fuck with him.
And then do you want to do the next, or are you going to do this? It's like an important scene.
it is an important scene, but it's a little hard to like describe. The double dungeon is literally like one room. This doesn't necessarily like it's not all important to describe the first chapter. I would say to give the plot, but the first dungeon is like a big room where they have to solve like commandments to get out. It's just like a big puzzle.
Right.
But like people in the big party are just like getting massacred. Like if you leave, you die. Literally, like Jiwoo's like legs get cut off.
Well,
like
I think we should explain the room. It kind of helps explain a lot of stuff. They walk into this room, which is a big circle, and there's statues lining the walls with one on a throne, which is just, and it's just, he's evil looking, menacing. Someone is immediately like, fuck this shit, I'm gonna leave. And he tries to walk out the door, Buddy gets like cut in half immediately.
It's like
from
the
one of
movie Cube.
Yeah, kind of. And then Jinwoo, being literate, reads. There's a couple plaques around which have different commandments of the rules of what you need to do to survive this encounter. And it's like just random shit. I don't need to divulge that much detail.
Sure.
But some people are doubtful and just like apprehensive to listen to him. And then so more people die, but they work it out. And then finally they're at the final one, which is, I believe it's like show your faith or something.
Where everybody's just sit in the middle.
You have to sit in the middle of the room while all of the statues walk towards the statues that have been killing them. Walk towards them.
Wow.
And then there's like a timer to just sit there and just be like, I'll be good.
You have to have faith.
Exactly.
I've solved it.
But the door is open. And you could technically leave. And some people do leave. And the doors close a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. Or no, wait.
It's a little different.
The statues don't move if you look at them.
The statue is like a weeping angel situation, so there needs to be enough people to
Doctor Who
keep watch over them. But if too many people just leave out the door, they all die.
Yes.
So
I forgot about
enough people escape that it's like we can't keep everybody, and then the main character's like, take the wife and leave because I don't have legs.
At some point.
Sure.
I don't have a leg. And then he gets brutally executed and dies. And then wakes up in a hospital.
Well, he almost dies, and that's when the system kicks in.
Yeah, I guess. The system kicks in. He almost dies. Wakes up in a hospital. And then that begins like solo leveling.
He has his leg.
Yeah, he's got his leg. And basically the idea of solo leveling is that now, unlike anybody else, he has like sort of like a game system where like he can level up whenever he kills monsters. Which like... for that world, considering you don't really change much in power, is like insanely overpowered.
Sure.
So it kind of starts out with him just like leveling up and doing stuff and like progressing pretty quickly to S tier essentially.
It takes him a minute. He gets to like BA quick, but the true leap into S. It's not until like the end of the first season.
I feel like by the time that he took, gauging by the power of the typical S tier, I feel like he got a like test to show that he was S tier at a certain point. But I think he
won against Igris because Igris kind of threw.
Yeah, but I say after that he was almost immediately S tier.
End of first season.
Yeah.
It's a whole season.
I guess.
I have 3 notes right now. Number 1, this is One Punch Man. Number 2, this is My Hero Academia. And number 3, this sounds boring as shit.
It's okay.
The fights look fun.
The fights look good. He gets like an ability at the time is very unique of like he's like a necromancer or whatever. So like
balloons.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
So
now I'm interested.
Like the whole solo leveling part is that he's like very strong solo because he can just like make a party using like the necromance stuff.
Which is funny because he's wicked strong in his own period.
Yeah. He just becomes extremely overpowered, and like at the time it's like fun just because it's like an aura farming.
It's power fantasy.
It's just power fantasy, and the art is good. There's better now.
100%.
At some point, I'll be able to talk about it. At some point, I can bring these to the Slop.
This is why I say it's Slop, because it's like...
This sounds like Turbo Slop.
Yeah. It's turn your brain off and watch things die, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And then also, he goes from like looking like he's 15, he's a college student,
okay,
to just being like mogging everyone around him. Just...
He starts looks maxing.
Literally. Which is just a plot point, I guess.
A brief plot point.
And then it makes remember that random interaction where it makes his sister's friend like goon over him?
What? So the issue with solo leveling is that like plot wise, it's not like at the time it was interesting, but in like a contemporary world, there's so many with a similar plot to it that it's not very interesting.
There's not a lot happening.
Yeah, but like it's like sort of in line where like at its time,
how old is it?
It was like pretty new. Not that old.
You're talking like this came out in 2002.
I don't think it came out. I don't think it's that old. Surely it was written in like 2017 or 18.
I feel like power fantasy already existed.
It in like the manhwa, like the way that it came out, sort of 2018.
That's so new.
It's when it came out, like for a manhwa, this is like a relative, like this started a new genre of manhwa, I would say, or it like put it into motion. I genuinely, I've been reading this for a long time, guys. You guys gotta trust me, okay?
I mean, like I see it and I don't at the same time. It's set like the very average bar of like what it can be.
I would say the issue with Solo Leveling overall though is the ending is absolute dog shit trash.
Which I don't know.
That's the one thing I've heard about it from you.
Yeah.
The anime stops where he. Remember the island I was telling you about?
Yeah,
He
island.
stops the island threat. Long story short, the island threat gets more of a threat, and everyone gets fucking destroyed. Like all of the big S rank hunter people. Also, Japan's S rank hunters pull up. Most of them die.
You're all losing to ants.
Yeah. They're really strong ants, dude. And
They're really strong.
I'm not losing to ants. I'm sorry.
and like the Giga Ant just like blows people's heads off with like a flick. And then Jinwoo, who sat out originally, teleports in because that's a thing he can do. And then
He just handles
he
it.
handles it. It's a cool fight.
It's a
Yeah,
cool
he
fight.
fights an ant. Sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking awesome.
It sounds fucking
Power
sick.
fantasy and he fights an ant. This is My
Yeah,
Hero
it is.
Academia.
It's a
bro.
strong ant. It's a really strong ant.
It's a very strong ant.
It's a very
fast
strong ant. It just the issue with Solo Leveling, like it kind of devolves to being storyless. They like add in this like higher level being, like these like monarchs or something.
Well, his dad is like there too.
Yeah. And then the idea of like Solo Leveling at the end is that like the ending is so bad that I don't even remember much of it because it was so like slop.
You
It doesn't-
blocked it out.
Like not even that. It's just like not very well filled out. But basically, like he sort of like beats everything, but he's like that wasn't good enough or something, and he's like the only way I can actually like beat the situation is he goes back in time to before, and then like levels up again, and like beats everything alone. Like literally he solos everything alone and nobody's a hunter now. But the main issue is that it doesn't show that. It just goes, we're going back in time. Okay, he beat the thing. We're done. It's like, oh, everybody's alive now. He beat everything and this was pointless and I'm happy.
It's kind of
To refer to my first point, this is One Punch Man.
It's kind of dumb and silly. Oh shit, what was I gonna say? I really wise and important thought to divulge.
I'm sure you did. This sounds like a show that warrants wise and important
It
thoughts.
doesn't. Fuck. It totally lost me.
Wow. You're
It's just-
destroying the Slop review right now.
You're
tanking
ruining
the
it.
entire
It's just
show.
Solo
It might come
Leveling,
back to me.
Solo Leveling just like genuinely has not much going for it other than how good like the art looks, which I think they keep going in the anime.
And the anime looks
And like the action is good, but the story of it is not very interesting. I think that Solo Leveling is really interesting to talk about because, like, it's still in my opinion at the very least, like it's an inflection point where things changed a lot. I think there's something kind of funny. I don't know if you've heard of this, but the beginning after the end. If you've heard of that anime coming out recently,
I've heard the name of it.
so the beginning
I
after the
stayed
end is like a similar thing of Solo Leveling where it's like one of the goats
okay.
of manhwa, but the animation for it is.
Who farted?
He said he farted.
Again?
I did do it again.
I didn't hear you.
Silent.
Well, he
Well,
said
he
he
said-
did it for the first time, so I thought maybe it like saturated the
I
air.
just farted
You
the
thought
other
it sat around for like 20
Yeah,
minutes?
bro, it's saturated.
You're
We don't
dumb
have
as
the door
bricks,
open.
dude. This is why you've been fucking watching Solo Leveling, dude.
I haven't been watching Solo.
You read it.
I
I
read
don't know
it.
if that makes it better or worse.
I read it all.
Ah.
I think there's just an interesting thing of manhwa getting animation and being bad.
I would love to talk about why people think it's so much better than it is.
It looks funny, and people have a brain meant for slop.
I just don't get it.
Action slop. Action has a tendency to just get higher reviewed than it should be. Anyway, let's move on to Solo.
I wanted to talk about that part for a little bit. 'Cause
Oh,
I find
sure.
it way more interesting than the actual show itself. Is why is it popular?
Yeah, okay.
Why is it popular?
I don't know.
And that's the end of the discussion.
So I think action.
What do you have to say?
It's
I want to hear your
interesting
magic
that
words.
because it has very little plot and substance to it. It's literally just a dude like walking around mobbing people. And there's way better shows that have come out when it was airing that have like actual concept and thought.
Yeah, I feel like, based on the description I've heard, I've read about 100 manga with this plot.
Yeah.
I've seen a dozen anime. Like, oh my god, Main character
So-
has a
Right.
unique power that makes him better than everyone else.
My thing is,
Who could have guessed?
why did this win Anime of the Year?
This one Anime of the Year?
Yes.
Why?
That's why I want to talk
So,
about it. And
I-
instead of just being one of the waysides, cool, that was a cool 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 slop.
I think there's a couple different things. I think as far as it breaking, like, open and all that, I think, like, because it really got mainstream, even, like, the manhwa itself. And I think the thing is, like, you prefer non-colored over colored, but I would say the majority of...
word that. We gotta rephrase.
You prefer manga over manhwa because it's black and white, and you prefer that art
Because
style.
I'm not racist against colored people, I'm racist against Koreans.
You're racist against Koreans.
That is what this
But
is
the-
about.
I think that a majority of people, especially people that aren't into like that typical interest and are just gonna pick up something to read randomly, would prefer something that's colored. Especially like a Western audience, it kind of follows like a similar art style as like a typical like cartoon, where like our cartoons, which is like the closest analog to manga, are colored. What the fuck was that noise?
Mute your phone,
It's
dude.
my phone. It's
Mute
just
it.
Email.
Mute it, bro.
Mute
You're
it.
getting emails during the Slop review.
Yeah, the New
You're
York.
tanking the show
The
again.
New York Times wants me to do a quiz.
I
I will not be.
was
doing
gonna
it.
ask you what the news is, and it's a quiz. All right, what's up?
And I think that for it being colored, I think that helped it break into the mainstream. And then I also think that it doesn't elicit high level thinking. It's not like, like an action like 86 where there's more going on than just the action. It's like the John Wick of anime.
I was gonna say.
Oh!
I feel
What
like
an
that does
insult.
a disservice to John Wick. I was gonna say more of like Friends, but action instead of shitty sitcom.
Friends, but I feel like it's just
Does it
him
not
or
fill
farming.
the same void of somebody's life though? Of, like, I want to just sit here and not think.
You could do that with anything else.
No, you can't.
You could why
do it
didn't
with Steins
why
Gate.
didn't like the Demon King Academy one?
'Cause that was
win
awful.
best? Okay, what makes this one not awful?
It does its gimmick well.
But then whenever something does its gimmick well, it doesn't get that big.
I don't think it does it as well as this did though.
I don't think this should have gotten that big. There's my 2
I
cents.
also agree with that. I
Bang.
don't think it should have won.
I think it had a
It was going against Frenren.
I dropped the manga because I thought it was boring.
I didn't finish it, but I know it's a better show than.
Frarian.
Frieren is currently the highest rated anime of all time.
Yeah.
It's
With-
an
with-
infinitely better show than
With a
Solo Leveling.
significant gap.
Yeah.
It has destroyed Full Metal Alchemist.
Frarian is good. I think that Frarian is for a certain person.
But
I think
it's
that the part where he's
infinitely
like,
better than Solo Leveling.
he couldn't pull out the hero sword. He just believed in himself. That's beast writing.
Bars.
But I think that the thing is Solo Leveling already had such an insane launch pad. It was already so big because it was so accessible.
Boundless space.
And it's kind of like how the Chainsaw Man anime kind of got big because it had such a big launch pad because everybody knew about Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, everyone is ready. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Yes.
Yes.
But the
Because you're
Frarian,
fucking stupid. Because you're watching Solo Leveling.
you fucking dumbass. You're dumb. My bad, bro.
He read all of it.
Frarian didn't
he's
have the
consumed
launch
more
pad,
Solo
so it
Leveling
didn't
than
win.
me.
I shit talk him a little too much. I gotta fucking hit you sometimes, okay? He will have his time.
I think there's better things to call me out on than Solo Leveling.
I'll call you out on everything. We just have to get there.
Like watching High School DxD multiple times.
That's fine.
Solo Leveling also, by the way, I would say is not so bad, or even really bad that it
I don't think
is
it's
worth
bad.
shitting on. It's just pointless.
It's
but
just fine.
that's what helps it. I think is that there's nothing criminal. It's not like Sword Art Online.
No.
What time do you have to leave?
I got a timer. I got 2 minutes and 38 seconds.
I need to get to my other manga.
Go,
This
go.
is the long one.
I'll go until the end of yours, and then I'm probably 4:15. Okay, go.
Alright, because I got my notes go down to P.
Okay.
This is the exact same plot.
Okay.
The exact same plot. This one, this is the girls. This is probably a light novel. The girls who traumatized me keeps glancing at me, but alas, it's too late.
That's a light novel.
By Maito Yuragi. This is truly a generational manga. It's horrible. It's really bad. It's really, really, really bad.
Okay.
I think I sent you a plot breakdown when I first read it because I couldn't believe
I
what
feel
I was
like I
reading.
remember you doing this.
I could not believe it. So, the quick rundown, mostly why the girls hate him. His sister,
I don't like where this is going.
I don't even remember why his sister doesn't like him. Oh, I do remember. It's because her friend, she's like a year older than him, so he's like, I guess, the little brother. And she was mad because one of her friends, when they were kids, became friends with her brother. And she's like, that's mine.
That's weird.
And so he was trying to ask her about this, and she was like, I hate you. And then he fell off of like a jungle gym and it hurt his head. So this has destroyed their relationship for 10 years.
Me win.
I have attacked my sister for less.
This has destroyed their relationship for a decade.
I don't believe this.
He refuses to talk to her. He hides away
This is unrealistic.
like a little baby. He also hates his mom just because she just wasn't around a lot when he was a kid. That was kind of it.
I mean, that's more realistic.
That's a little more. That's just kind of sad. That's just genuinely
just,
sad.
Like, genuinely a sad thing.
Like, yeah,
that's happens to people.
Yeah, that is tough. There's like, he used to he'd be in the basketball club, and he was like the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's like the Michael Jordan of Japanese high school basketball.
So he was like 5'8".
Yeah, he was.
Shots fired.
Yeah, he was
to
like
the entire
5'8".
nation of Japan.
He was taller than everyone else.
Yeah.
But the way they described it is so funny. He's like, he's the puppet master of the court. Like, this is cringe.
That's so lame.
I think secretly this author wanted to write a basketball manga.
I think it would have been bad.
There's a lot. Oh yeah, anything this author does will be bad.
The art, at least.
No, the art looks a little like Sex and Dungeon.
Oh.
I had to check to make sure it wasn't the same person.
And then their eyes like drift.
They do drift really bad. So when he's in the basketball club, there's a girl that is like very much into him. She's like, I like the way he plays basketball. And she confesses to him, and he's like, that's chill, but let me finish this basketball championship thing, and then I'll get back to you. I'm
cool.
busy.
He's locked.
I'm like, okay. And actually, you know what? This is another kind of like the mom where this was shitty, where she was like talking to one of her friends like in the bathroom. He happened to be outside the bathroom, or whatever, and just overheard.
Mm-hmm.
And one of her friends was like, isn't that, I don't even remember his name. She's like, isn't that guy kind of weird? And she's like, yeah, he must be weird. I asked him out as a joke. And she's just lying for like no reason. And he hears that and he's like, I gotta burn another bridge forever. And then he ends up like telling her this while they're on a bridge, and then she like falls down a flight of stairs, and when he goes to catch her, he breaks his arm, so he can't play basketball. And the last
What's your problem?
the last like main girl, there's a bunch more girls that show up, but the last main one was a childhood friend, and this one is crazy.
Okay.
He completely cut her off, and he was like, I gotta be an incel now, and I have such bad luck with women, they always wrong me. His reasoning was because she just had a boyfriend, just separately. She didn't really lead him on or anything. He never asked.
Just was in. Like,
He
his
never
presence.
asked her out. She just had a boyfriend, and he was like, "It always happens."
Fucking every time.
I'm like, this fucking sucks. You end up finding out she didn't even have a boyfriend. She just lied to, I guess, make him jealous.
What?
I don't know. It doesn't.
So she's also insane.
She wanted him to confess to her, and so she just started lying for no reason.
Is this in high school?
Obviously,
Okay,
dude.
this makes more sense.
Where else could this be?
The workplace.
No.
What?
Target.
It'll happen around the water cooler.
That where this starts to get really bad, like really bad, is he does a lot of incel things, but unlike being the classic incel where he likes to go on his Ayano Koji rants, he instead opts to just be weird, which is where I come in, because I like when my main characters are really weird.
Quite famous.
And instead of being like mad all the time or like jaded, he just kind of like schmeep schmops everything, and he's like, well, that's fine. And it's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
This manga is really funny because it's so unbelievably stupid. And all these women really want to like date him immediately. But he's too much of a schmeep schmop incel to like care. He's like, they can't be trusted. Even though this one girl's crime was just having a boyfriend one time.
Yeah.
He's like, she can't be trusted.
Mortal
She
sin.
can't be trusted.
She's evil.
And then he has to go on this like school on this like class trip, and it's him, a guy, and then like the basketball girl and the childhood friend. And the childhood friend like hurts her foot, and he's like, take off your shoes. And the way she says it, she's like, right here. She's like, you want me to take off my clothes right here? And she's like down to just have sex in the woods.
That's crazy.
And he's like, no, I have to bandage your foot.
What?
And she hurt her foot.
Seems to. Alright.
It's stupid. Tyler, it doesn't make any sense.
I guess it's my fault for trying to understand.
And then, the basketball girl, she low key kind of becomes like a slave to this guy. Yeah, she feels so bad about his arm breaking. She's like, I ruined his whole basketball aspirations forever.
What the fuck?
That she becomes like a dog, like literally. He throws
What is wrong with Japan?
He throws a stick and says fetch while they're still out on this like school trip because they're in the woods, and she just does it, and then he molests her.
Oh.
Just immediately.
Oh. It's okay because he hates women.
Yeah, and he brings up like dog breeding and then just starts rubbing her a lot, and I was like, this is fucking crazy.
Weird.
And then that scene just ends.
Artists barely.
We just move on. Another scene where the author just moves on. This was fucking crazy.
That was crazy. How does it get worse?
You have not heard 10% of this manga. One of the crazier parts is his mom has wronged him by like being neglectful, and she's like, how do I mend this relationship with my estranged son? And so she's like, I have an idea. And the very last page of this just like chapter in the middle is her he's taking a bath, and she just walks in like fully naked, and she's like, let's bathe together. And then the chapter just ends, and they never bring it up again. I'm like, what the fuck? Huh?
What?
What? Like, I feel like I missed something. I had to go back and check if I like missed a chapter, because it just never gets brought up again.
Mm-hmm.
And then those are like the main cast of girls, but then more girls just keep getting added on, because he's like tries to save this girl from being molested on a train, and someone else like confuses the situation and accuses.
What does he care? He's already molested people.
He has. This is post molestation, but the dog girl was kind of down, I guess, because she's like the dog girl, so she's just down for anything. I would say it's problematic, but she like wrongfully accused him of molesting someone. An older woman is just there, and she's like, it wasn't him. And she's like, oh. She's like, I need to make it up to you. She finds out they're in the same school, and she's the student council president. So she shows up into his classroom and gets on the floor, and she's like, I'll have sex with you to make up for this. And he's like, dude. He's trying to like disappear into this class, because he's like, if nobody knows I'm here, then women can't be so unfortunate towards me.
So unfortunate.
And they just keep walking in like, I need to have sex with you.
We need to bang.
And he's like, we're not gonna do that. So he starts getting called the year 3 Casanova, which I thought was funny. And she keeps showing up to try to have sex with him a lot. It is the only thing she does. She shows up once every 5 chapters. She's like, you should have sex with me. And he's like, I'm not gonna do that.
And wait, this isn't by the same author of Sex and Dungeon. Like, you made sure.
This is different. It just looks similar and has very similar characters.
It's extremely similar plot.
Like he's a wannabe incel.
Well, not similar plot, but
he doesn't even want to be an incel though, because he's just schmeep schmop.
But he keeps like
he's a ball cell
falling at his feet.
Yes, so many.
And he's rejecting them.
You haven't. I think you've heard. I think half of the number of women that try to have sex with him.
Right. My point is, he's pushing them away. He's like trying to become a competitive ranked incel.
Yeah.
But it's like not real.
And they won't let him.
He would get gatekept by real incels.
He runs into a random woman in his apartment building who's probably like 40.
Oh god.
And she's like, "Oh, can you help me move into my apartment?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then they get in there and she starts taking her clothes off. And she's like, "I'll be your mother." But she also wants to have sex with him. and then it just moves on, and you forget about her for like 10 chapters.
I don't like that.
And then, oh my god, dude, there's so much to keep track of, and it's all fucking poopy garbage.
Is this just this guy writing his fetishes into a manga?
It might be. Because we're about to... There's 2 more plot points where I think we jump off the deep end.
Because we're doing CNC, the whole mother thing, mommy issue thing, like women just throwing themselves at him.
Can I add another one quick?
You know it.
You know.
I know.
So...
This is what I've observed.
Yeah, to add another one, his sister who had wronged him in the past by just like pushing him down once when they were like 5, she very much is also into him, and they're not like, it's not even like a step sibling thing.
It's just like actual interest.
Which that's the only part of this manga that 1% of me is like, I kind of respect not doing step siblings, just being like, yeah, I am a freak, I am weird.
I'm not gonna do the weird cop out thing.
Yeah, but
I'm just a freak.
It gets really crazy because usually manga that have like an incest type character, like a sister or whatever, but it's in a harem setting, they kind of just float next to the main cast and don't really get that involved. She just kisses him in the middle of nothing.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, we're really doing this. Wow. And then you want to know what's even awesomer?
Even awesomer?
15 chapters later, his mom does the same thing. Oh!
Why is it so incesty?
And they both try to have sex with them. Several times. It's actually really gross. This manga is belligerently stupid. It's like... It is aggressively awful.
My life is worse for having heard this.
He keeps having to play in basketball matches, and he keeps offering up the dog girl as like a trophy because she's like a dog for him. But he just never loses because he's the GOAT of high school.
That's actually really funny. I will say that's so funny.
It is funny that he just
I like
can't
to think
lose.
that he doesn't even want her. He's actively trying to get away from her.
He is. He says
so
that.
Good.
He says that to her and the people he's beating. That
Oh.
he says it's a win-win if he loses.
But
he just still wins.
But he's just too beast at basketball.
He's just too fucking beast at basketball.
This sounds awful.
That is kind of funny. I will say that.
How many chapters is this?
22.
What?
This is all in 22 chapters. One of my favorite scenes from this manga that was actually really funny. It is after his sister kisses him for the first time.
Okay.
Before she tries to have sex with him. After she sleeps in his bed with him the first time, though. But she was clothed at that time.
That's good.
The next day at school, because he's still trying to get everyone to dislike him. Because he doesn't want to talk to anyone. Because he's kind of an incel. So
I could say something that would probably make you really mad.
Go ahead.
Is this kind of not like at the start of My Teen Romantic? What is it?
Origairu?
Snafu.
This manga really wants to be Origairu. There's an Origairu plot point in it where like 2 characters, there's like rumors being spread, so that his solution is to fake that he was the one spreading the rumors and to like take the blame.
He could never be Hachiman.
He wants to be Hachiman so bad, but he
lacks the swag.
He lacks the swag, but Hachiman's low-key also an incel, so that part kind of works.
But he's more of like an isolated incel.
Yeah, this guy just sucks, but so he's trying to like get everyone to hate him. So after his sister kisses him, he's like, well, I'm already weird for everyone in this class. So he just goes up to like a girl that he kind of knows, and he's like, you're a bitch, right? Everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, no, I understand.
Like, no, he actually said some real.
There's a whole scene where they meet earlier that doesn't matter at all, so we won't go over that. Okay. But she does kind of know him, and she's like, yes, maybe. But
I might be bitch.
She's like, I might be, but you shouldn't call me that. He's like, okay, well, I have a question. My sister kissed me on the lips yesterday. What does that mean? And then the scene just ends.
And it doesn't, it's just done.
It's just done.
Do you think if I lick this will kill me?
No, it's not. There's no power.
Okay, I can hear one more plot point, then I gotta dip.
We're almost at the end. I can get out of here real quick. There's 2 quotes that I wanted to bring up. One of them being, I'm the type who could give birth easily. This is another woman trying to seduce him. I think this one was older, though. She was like 40. There's like, I think, about 4 middle-aged women that tried to have sex with this high schooler.
That's
Only one of them is his mom.
incredible.
Actually 5, because one of them's his aunt.
Okay.
And then there's the lady in the apartment building, and then just 2 random women that he meets. And then
That's like me going up to a woman and telling her she has a nice wide birthing canal.
it's not like that because she said it herself.
I know, but it's still strange to say.
It is kind of weird. And then he says at one point, "Don't act surprised in an innovative way."
Don't act
And
surprised.
I thought that was funny because I feel like I've probably said that at some point.
I feel like that's something you haven't said, but you've thought about saying.
But that's where this leaves off. He just kind of becomes a little bit less of an incel, and it's the most like unimaginable plot I've ever read.
Mm-hmm.
It's incoherent. You can't follow anything that's happening because it's just women randomly throwing themselves at him, and occasionally they're related to him.
Incredible.
I think out of every manga I've ever read, if we want to talk about like genuine quality, this is probably the worst. I think this is actually number
It doesn't
one.
even have like a funny quality, really.
You're saying it
No,
looks
it's
bad.
hilarious.
Okay, well,
But
how
it's
does
like,
it rank compared to My Stepsister Says Go Die?
that one's awesome.
Hypnotize me while I'm sleeping.
That one rules.
Alright, bye-bye, fellas.
You're a fucking cuck, dude. We're back. What are you doing? Your head is right next to my toes. Don't touch them. Don't get out of here. You're not What are you doing?
Don't say about One Piece.
Why are you doing this?
Despite you.
Why? What did I do?
Nothing.
I'm the only one that showed up prepared.
This is correct.
I've been prepared every week, and I do the production, and I edit it, and I upload it, and I make the thumbnails.
Mm-hmm.
Tickle, tickle. Alright, we read chapters. I didn't write it down. I think it was 95 to 100. 96 to 105.
And I did a couple more than that.
And you had to read Arlong Park. I want to hear your thoughts first, because mine don't matter as much.
Is my favorite so far, for sure.
It's everyone's favorite so far.
Got actual proper characterization for Nami. A lot of which I inferred, but it was nice to see. Luffy kind of went apeshit in this arc, and I liked him for that.
Yeah, Luffy popped off. This is a good Luffy arc.
Zoro also aura farmed, like, for real this time.
Yeah, because he was, like, injured the entire time. Zoro has had...
Keep farting.
Zoro... Dude. On the Slop review...
Yeah. Those Euros fucked me up.
Oh my god, dude. Dude. That one is so much worse than the other ones. Dude, it's like a bomb. Oh my god. I also ate a Euro. I ate a Meat Lovers. I ate so much pepperoni and I'm normal. You look like you're trying to get another one out.
I'm gonna shit myself if I did that.
One Piece.
What a train wreck.
Where were we? We need to fucking delete this episode. I hope we aren't recording. If there's a
Life
just
would be-
God, we aren't recording.
Life would be so much better if this footage corrupted. Hopefully that there's some kind of issue with the mic recording and not recording, and this can die.
This dies. I'll make a solo episode to upload. I'll make a shit post.
Zoro.
Yes, he's injured. Zoro's had a bad rep. Or not a bad rep, but a bad, like, time this entire series so far.
But now he's, like, actually, like, sick.
Yeah, but he's still injured. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean he's had a bad run as in he has only been injured and, like, starving to death.
Oh, yeah. But he's, like, actually cool this time.
Yeah, it was sick. I love this scene where Arlong and his, like, main goons head out to, like, the town. And it cuts back to Zoro and he's just killed everyone.
Yeah, it's sick.
He's just sitting on the throne. I'm like, dude.
He's so cool.
I like how at the start Nami is like trying to aura farm and is just failing. She's trying to aura farm. She's like, I didn't even care about you. I manipulated you. And then Arlong's like, yeah, and we killed your mom. I'm like, dude.
Which is a good comeback, to be fair.
But she's like siding with him.
Yeah.
Arlong just brings that up for no reason. And then Zoro tries to drown himself.
Yep.
This arc was a bad time for Nami. She kind of just kept getting owned until she got like the ultimate win.
Yeah. But I like that.
Yeah, this arc rules. I love this arc.
Mm-hmm. I like the fish guys. They were good villains because they didn't sabotage their own guys, which I guess is a good. That's an improvement.
Yeah, they didn't just kill each other immediately.
Which is good. I think Luffy got zoned out in a good way. He didn't just get locked in a cage. It's better.
It's better, but I still don't like the I just don't like that Oda just doesn't know how to handle him, so he just has to put him away.
Yeah.
I think that concept in itself is almost always stupid.
That ends soon, right?
We got a little while.
Oh.
We are not at the most egregious examples.
Oh boy.
There's some worse ones.
Can't wait.
Sugoi.
I don't know. I liked the scene where he was like talking about all of his shortcomings, and then Arlong was trying to be like, "Yeah, you a bitch," and he's like, "Nah, I'm dialed, and
Yeah.
I can beat you."
Arlong is like, "What
That
do you
was
do?"
fire.
And he's like, "I can beat you." That's
was-
the one thing I'm good at.
That was beast.
Yeah, it's awesome. Luffy's awesome in this arc.
He's sweet. Yeah.
I love that scene where Nami is like crying and he puts a hat on and everything. That first of all, that's one of the most iconic scenes in the
It's
series.
Well, it's so important.
I think that actually is the
they
most
spend
iconic
like
scene.
a chapter talking about how Nami doesn't cry, and then it's like, oh, she's doing the thing.
She's doing the thing. Andy puts his treasure on her head and she asks for help and all that. And
Sick.
it's also great characterization for Luffy because if you remember, he doesn't even hear her backstory. He just dips out because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, my navigator is sad. I need to kick the shit out of Arlong. He
It's
walks
so
into
beast.
Arlong Park and goes, who's Arlong?
It's awesome.
Like, that's awesome.
So I like that. That was a fire scene.
That was it's such a good scene. It's still one of my. I've read the whole thing. It's still one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah, it was really good.
The fight is like fine.
It was whatever.
It's better than the fights
I
beforehand.
went
'Cause
through it
Arlong-
very fast.
Yeah, you had to speed run it on my couch
Because I am unprepared.
because you're stupid.
That is true.
Arlong, it's like. It's still not a great fight, but Arlong's the first villain to actually kind of feel like a threat.
I liked him.
He actually like damages them.
Yeah. And I don't know. I literally a villain not sabotaging their own guys. Like I like that so much more.
Yeah. Also, I'll give you a little spoiler. Well, I'll keep it vague. One of the fishmen, one of his like goons, comes back way later,
Okay.
and I won't tell you which one.
Is that during Fishman Island?
He appears a bit before that, but
Okay.
he's prominent in Fishman Island.
Sure. I wonder how I knew that. Is it because he was a fishman?
No.
I'm really smart. Dialed.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good. I don't know if we have to talk about it too much. We can go on to what we.
I also already talked about Arlong Park last
Right.
episode. I just repeated a lot of the exact same points.
So we can move on to. What is this Rogue Town?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I get the names right. It should be Rogue Town and then Reverse Mountain.
Yeah.
Rogue Town.
Where they actually get into the Grand Line or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's Rogue Town. It's like 5 chapters. This arc is like. It's not as much of a nothing burger as Reverse Mountain is,
Enjoyed it.
but it's like fine. You meet Dragon. I forgot Dragon is in this early.
Dragon?
He was the guy with like the cloak.
I don't remember him.
Remember Smoker is like chasing after them, and then he gets stopped by a
Oh.
guy in a cloak,
That's
and then he says Dragon.
Dragon.
That's his name,
Okay.
Dragon. When he says Dragon, that's
I
his
liked the Captain Smoker.
Smoker's awesome.
Because he seems like because all the Navy people have been like just dog shit.
Yeah.
Like also evil, bad people.
Smoker's the first like Navy person to actually be like
Give a
character.
shit about the people he's sworn to protect.
Yeah.
Like they characterize him so well and so quickly too. When he starts to go to the pirates, and he bumps into that little girl, and he's like, "Buy a ton of ice cream on me."
Yeah.
Literally that small piece of characterization. I'm like, oh, he's not an awful person.
Every other like Navy person so far would have killed that girl.
Yeah.
Would have sent her to the fucking gallows for that.
So I immediately like him a lot more.
Smokers are goat.
The other, what the hell was her title?
Oh, I don't fucking remember.
The sword chick.
Yeah, the girl.
Yeah.
She's fine.
Yeah.
She's kind of whatever.
The whole shop scene with Zoro was really random.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That scene gets more significance in literally 900 chapters.
That's good.
It's once we get to Wano. Dude, stop farting on the Slop review. This room's gonna be a biohazard.
I used to have a biohazard sticker on my door.
Yeah, of course you did.
Like an actual one from a hospital that my mom had.
That's
she
a
gave
little
it to me, and
cooler, but I
put it-
still wish you were
I
dead.
put it on my door.
Yeah, I wish the biohazard killed you.
I am the biohazard.
Smoker.
That's why I like Nurgle.
He can turn into
Where my
smoke.
Nurgle head's at.
He can turn into smoke.
Okay. I never, does this have a double free power?
Yeah, he can turn into smoke.
I must have missed that. I wasn't reading very closely.
They don't explain it yet,
Okay.
but you see him turn into like a ghostly smoke, which I find it funny that he can turn into smoke, but he's also smoking 3 cigars at all times.
It's kind of awesome.
I'm like, bro, you are smoke. I feel like you don't
I-
need the nicotine.
I like that the fat lady turned into hot lady and that she wants Luffy as like a husband.
Yeah,
It's really funny to me.
yeah. I was saying earlier, but like, she really encapsulates the only 2 ways Oda will ever draw women: extremely beautiful or like a
Rotund
an
fat.
ogre.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 ways, or a child.
Yeah.
That's kind of a different category, I think, though.
That's child category.
Yeah. Sort of child avoid tier. Yeah,
That's
this.
a weird way to phrase that. Child avoid tier.
Yeah, we made a tier list and we had a child avoid tier.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Because we're not pedophiles on the Slop review. Except for Kobe.
Yeah, and he's not here, and he can't defend himself, so we can say that.
Bang! At the end of the last episode, after the credit card, I edited together a clip of Kobe saying that he likes incest because I thought it was funny.
That is funny.
That's a Slop Easter egg.
When are we gonna finish Kiss This?
Dude, well, I can bring it up a different time. I don't want to talk about that right now. I like that there's 2 versions of that anime. We have to watch both of them.
Do we?
Of course.
That can be a whole episode.
Yeah, it absolutely could.
So anyway,
Stop farting. I also like that Luffy is like, he's about to get executed and he's kind of just like, well, I guess I'm dead.
it's kind of awesome. That was just gonna bring that up, and I started farting again. I love how he just yells to the world how he's gonna be the next pirate king, and then immediately just accepts that he's gonna die.
Yeah, it's like, bro, this seems counterintuitive.
It's kind of sick though.
Yeah, but like, imagine if he died to fucking Buggy the Clown, though.
That would be embarrassing.
Oh, that would suck.
Luckily
Yeah.
that didn't happen.
And then lightning strikes.
Like insane.
There's...
Is there a reason for it?
Yes.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I was gonna say.
It's like, if you were paying really close attention right now,
Which I wasn't.
yeah, if you were, my first time reading it, I didn't even notice, but if you were paying really close attention, you can actually figure out already how that lightning struck. But I didn't catch it first time reading it, so I'm not going to bring it up, because you'll find out later.
Yeah.
You'll find out way later.
Okay.
With everything in One Piece, you'll find out about
900
700
chapters.
chapters.
Sweet.
You'll find out who the guy in the cloak was too. He's pretty cool, but this arc's fine. It's like, it's kind of cool. They're in a town. Zoro gets his awesome. That scene where he throws the sword up to see if it'll cut his arm off.
That was sick.
That's the most beast shit he's ever done.
That was pretty awesome.
And then the shopkeeper's like, I see I didn't recognize your game.
I was like, I was not familiar with your game.
Like,
Here's another sword for
he
free.
immediately gives him another like awesome sword.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, and then after this is fucking Reverse Mountain.
Was that really an arc?
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like one.
5 chappies.
They go
They go in a whale.
up a mountain, and are in the whale, and they make friends with the whale.
They do. Well, actually, technically, Luffy makes enemies with the whale.
I thought he. Oh, is that what that was?
Well, because he beats the shit out of it.
I mean, yeah, but he like.
And then he's like, they're friendly. They're frenemies.
Okay.
They're frenemies.
I don't know. They go up the mountain, shenanigans happens, and they try and show like wind patterns, and I didn't really look that hard.
Yeah, and like Miss fucking Wednesday or whoever the hell's in it.
Yep. Yeah, I remember I saw her and I was like, oh, she's kind of hot. And then what's the other guy's name? Mystery Man? something.
Is he one of the numbers?
I think so.
Is he like number? He's like Mr. 9 or something.
I think that sounds right.
Mr. 8 or Mr. 9.
I can check.
It's kind of hard to keep track of all
I have 4 tabs open: Mal, my 2 animes, and Banana Pig. So I actually don't have One Piece open right now.
You gotta kill yourself, bro.
Can Banana Pig be the title card?
It's your turn to make it.
Sweet. He won't maybe be it, but he's gonna be in it.
Okay. Maybe I'll make that thumbnail of that house again.
You should.
I really like that house.
I know. I don't why.
Why do you like Banana Pig so much?
Fair enough.
Checkmate, loser, kill yourself.
I'll give up.
Do
I'll
yourself.
accept
Do it
that.
in front of me so I know you did it.
Oh, my whole left ass cheek down to my ankle is numb.
Maybe if you farted again, we'll loosen that up.
Get some blood flow. There's not a whole lot to say about Mountain.
Yeah, it just sort of happened and then it ends, and I didn't care about it.
It felt like a transition.
I didn't care about it the first time. I don't care about it now. I feel like with how much they hype up the grand line, this being the transition into it is like kind of who cares.
It's a transition. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna hold it to a very high
They're
standard.
like the grand line, and then they get there and it's just a whale.
Yeah.
And that's One Piece. You have anything else to say about it? I think I've exhausted everything I can say. I've spoken about Arlong Park too much already.
Yeah, I farted a lot, so I'm feeling good.
The dragon becomes you.
Yeah.
Dragon.
Dragging my balls in your mouth.
And that's the Slop review. I hope
Press the button.
this isn't recording.